Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with a quick review of a brand new wireless HDMI adapter. This product allows you to connect your Apple devices to any widescreen TV, computer display, or even projection system wirelessly so you can share pictures and videos with family and friends. Now before I get too deep into all the features this product provides, I always like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you decide this product's right for you. And then I'll dive into the features because there are a lot of HDMI wireless adapters on the market and they're not all the same. So I want to point out what makes this one special, and then I'll do a quick demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use once you get it home. So let's get started with the unboxing. So when you pop open the box, you'll find the wireless HDMI adapter, pretty straightforward product. It's got a cable attached to it. On the end of that cable is a full-sized HDMI connector. That plugs into your TV or your projector. On the other end, you'll find a USB-C port, and that's where you plug in power. They also include a power cable. I'll show you that in a minute. You'll also find a button on the front of the unit. Now, when you're using the product, if you tap that button, you can flip the screen from landscape to portrait mode. It's also used for updating the firmware, and that's explained in the manual. The power cable is a standard USB-A on one end and a USB-C on the other end. The USB-A can plug into any wall charger that you have at home. The USB-C plugs into the end of the unit and provides power. Now the nice thing about this unit is that it draws very little power, so you can use really old chargers, maybe the one you got with your first iPhone. They'll all work just great. The other advantage of having a low power unit like this means if you have an open USB-A port on your display, you can plug this right into your TV and plug this into the unit and not have to worry about a power supply. You'll also find a full instruction manual included that explains everything you're going to need to know about this product to use it correctly. Also how to update the firmware in case new versions of firmware come out later on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the unit. The product provides full support for 1080p high resolution video content at 60 frames a second. Now that's different than a lot of other units on the market that may support 1080p content but only 30 frames a second. Or they may support a lower resolution like 720p. So knowing you've got a unit that can provide full high definition 1080p content at 60 frames a second means you're going to get a really nice picture on your display. It also uses two different Wi-Fi frequencies. A lot of these units only use a 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and it works okay, but it really limits the distance you can be away from the TV, and there may be issues with spotty connections. Because this unit uses 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz, it means you're going to have a rock-solid connection between your phone or your device and this unit. You're not going to have to worry about dropouts or stuttering or any of those other problems. So I like the fact that it has that. And again, another advantage I'd mentioned is it's a low power device. A lot of the other units on the market require a little bit of extra current to run, and they may have a proprietary power supply, and that's a problem because if the power supply goes bad, you can't use the unit. With this one, a standard USB-C connection and it's a low power unit means if you ever have a problem with the cable, you can replace it, and it's so low power that you can again plug it into your widescreen TV and not have to worry about a power supply at all. Now if you stay tuned next, I'll take a couple of minutes to do a demonstration to show you how the product works, and I'll point out a couple of other things that I like about it. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use this product with your own equipment. In front of me, I have the wireless HDMI adapter, and I've set up a small monitor right over here. And again, this can be a much larger monitor or it could be a projector. It just has to be able to display an HDMI signal. Now the first connection I'll make is from the HDMI connector on the end of the cable to the TV, and I'll simply plug that into any available HDMI port on the TV. And now we're all set to add power. I've already plugged in a power supply. The other end of the cable has a USB-C connection on it, and I'll plug that into the other end of the unit. Now the minute I add power, this unit starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics. It's also checking the resolution of the monitor, and that takes a second, and eventually you'll see the main screen come up, which means it's ready to go as far as wireless sharing. There we go. So I've got an iPhone right here. Now to share my screen, I'll go to the upper right-hand corner on the main display, pull down, you'll see a sharing icon. And then once you tap that sharing icon, you may have to enter the password here. You're going to select whatever the HDMI adapter comes up as. In this case, it's this one. And it'll start sharing your desktop. Now to show you that it works pretty well, let me share some video. Got a video on here that I can start up. There we go. Now this is a video of some flying I did with my drone, but I'm actually sharing it from the phone to the wireless HDMI adapter to the TV. And you can see the screen, it's displaying that video really well on there. I can turn the audio on, a little bit of music in the background. So you can already imagine having pictures on here or videos on here you've taken of the family and you want to share those on a much bigger screen so everybody can enjoy them. It just makes it really easy where you don't have to be fiddling around with cables and all kinds of settings on the TV. And it's also great in a commercial environment because if you're out in the field and you're presenting to customers, you may need to connect to a widescreen monitor in a conference room. You can plug this into any HDMI port and you'll be ready to go. Now, a couple of things that separate this from a lot of other HDMI adapters on the market. Number one, it broadcasts on both 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies, which means you're going to have a rock solid connection between this and the display up to 33 feet away, so you're not going to have to worry about stuttering video or losing signal, which is really important. And the other thing is, it's a low power device. A lot of these units require an external power supply that may be proprietary, so you've got to carry the unit, carry the power supply with you. It's a headache. With this one, it uses a standard USB-C connection, and it's a very low power connection, which means if your TV or display has an open USB-A port on the back, you can connect the cable directly up to your display and not have to worry about a power supply at all. And the best part is, it's plug and play simple. You just plug it into the display, add some power, and immediately connect over a wireless connection. So that's all I really had for today. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy.